secretárias e secretários do Brasil. A gente está iniciando a série de entrevistas com nossas grandes colegas do mundo do secretariado, né? Do Brasil, Europa, Estados Unidos, Nova Zelândia, Austrália, África, América Latina. E hoje estamos com uma jovem assim extremamente talentosa, que eu tive a grande oportunidade de conhecer nesse grande evento da nossa grande amiga, parceira, Lucy Brazier, né? Esse evento global que eles tiveram, que nós vamos estar compartilhando muitos insights, muitos conhecimentos. E eu tive a grata oportunidade de ver um painel fantástico que a Lucy fez com a Skevi e com o Matt, que é o secretário executivo que reporta diretamente para a Lucy. Então, a gente vai bater um bate-papo bem descontraído com nossa amiga aqui, para que vocês conheçam um pouco dessa história dessa menina extremamente talentosa, criativa, sensível, muito especial, que eu tive a grata oportunidade de conhecer. I'm just talking a little bit about you, Skevi, how we met with this the greatest global event of Lucy Brazier that we had some weeks ago, and I had this great opportunity to hear you and Matt with the talk that you had with Lucy and everything. And in this series that we're interviewing our friends, our colleagues of the community of secretaries around the world, it's a pleasure having you here. And I just wanted you to begin just to present you. Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you living? And then we're just going to go on.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. And the introduction was so beautiful. Even though I didn't understand it, the language is so beautiful. So thank you. So my name is Skevi Constantinou. I am an executive assistant. I have been an executive assistant for around 11 years now. And I left my last role in November. However, in 2018, I created a lifestyle platform for assistants and administrators called the PA Way. And the PA Way is a very fun, fresh platform for assistants to be treated like a boss, to make sure that assistants are rewarded and celebrated to be the very best that they are, and also to make sure that they have the best time, the best events, and learning and development. So I've been working on that since 2018.
Well, that's great. I'm going to ask you later on our conversation for you to share screen of the site that I already had a peek on the site and everything. And it's a very modern, very creative site. And I would say that the mission, the purpose is very, very valuable. You look very, very young. And where are you from with this name, Constantinou?
So thank you. So my parents are from Cyprus. So I'm Greek Cypriot. However, I have been born and raised in England, in the UK, and have been here my entire life. So I'm 33.
Oh, what a wonderful age. I love that age. I had my twin boys when I was 35. They were born when I was 36 years old.
Oh, wow.
Two wonderful boys. They just completed 22 years old now, Philip and Tiago. And we're taking them to England because my sister lives in Reading. So we're looking forward when everything starts moving, the frontiers start opening, to do these trips also. Skevi, tell us about how you met Lucy, this community and everything, how you met Matt. Tell us a little bit of that background.
Yeah, of course. So before I created the PA Way, I had always had an interest and thirst for knowledge for our industry. And I always felt, and I still do, feel that the executive assistant industry is one that is not celebrated enough or rewarded or recognized for the hard work that these individuals give to their companies. And I'd always followed different leaders and experts and thought-provoking people on LinkedIn, on different social media. I spent hours on Executive Secretary website reading all the amazing content that Lucy puts out there. She's so brilliant with what her platform provides. And did the PA, started to do more posts on LinkedIn and create the website, and I reached out to Lucy, and from there the friendship, the relationship that I have with her, I am so blessed to know that woman. I cannot say enough about her soul. You know her, you know how amazing she is, and I believe with all my heart that Lucy is a mentor to me. She guides me and teaches me things and puts me in the right direction. And I've always been the kind of person to go out there and get opportunities. I've never waited for opportunities to land in my lap and then for me to try and make things happen. I have a mindset where I go make things happen. And if I fail, then that's great, because I believe that you either win or you learn from the lesson. So to me, there's no such thing as failure, because it's all learning experience to make you a better individual. And so I reached out to many different leaders in our industry, Lucy, Bonnie Lowe Kramer, Libby Moore, just so many brilliant people who I look up to and think, wow, you're doing the best for our industry. There's so many brilliant people. We're so blessed to have these people in our industry.
Yes, definitely. I love your mindset.
Thank you.
It's a very open mindset. It embraces the new knowledge, new learning. You are thirsty always of new learning, and you connect with great people, great mentors, people that I say that they have a lot of light. They have brilliant minds, but that they have much more giant hearts even. So that is the perfect match. Definitely. Lucy, definitely, she is one of these giants.
And you know what? With Lucy, I always say to everybody, what I love so much about that woman is that she's a leader. She's at the top of her game, and she's somebody for example, if Lucy said something on LinkedIn, I would immediately read it or write it or want to learn it. And yet she's this powerhouse. She's this powerhouse of a woman. And yet to every individual, she'll still give time. And she's so humble and has such humility about her. So I completely understand when you say light, because I actually call her the light in my life.
Wow.
She's never selfish with her time. She's never the kind of person to say, I'm so established, I don't need to talk to you. I've seen her at events, she'll talk to everybody, and she makes that person feel like they're the only person in the room. And when you have a leader like that, as somebody who's a different generation to say Lucy and all the other leaders, that gives you inspiration to follow in their footsteps and learn how they did it. So
yes, definitely, I totally agree with you. Do you hear a background sound?
I did, but I think it's okay now. I've gone a bit blurry. I think I can still hear you and see you.
But you could hear me well.
Yeah.
There's happening some echo. Let me just pause here. Wait a minute. Let me just. Skevi, tell me a little bit about your academic formation. What were your studies and everything on the Secretariat and in other areas also?
That's a really good question. So when I left high school, I actually trained to be a chef. So so when I was 15 and a half, I knew straight away that I wanted to be a chef. And so I trained as a chef for 3 years. and I qualified, and unfortunately I had an accident which ruined my shoulder. So the doctor said to me, congratulations, you graduated, and you won't be able to carry on as a chef.
Wow.
So yeah, so I was very heartbroken, but I spent 1 year trying to rewire my brain to think, okay, I have to train as something else. And I still wanted to work in an industry where there was so much pressure and deadlines and teamwork, but I was able to work on my own as well. I wanted to have somebody, as crazy as this is, I wanted somebody to scream instructions to me, do this, do that, because I was so used to it from the kitchen when the head chef would shout, make this, make that. So I thought, okay, I need to train as an executive assistant because it's a very demanding job.
Uh-huh.
And I had no experience. I had no administration qualification. I had nothing. I knew how to cook and that was it. And so I applied for an administrator role, and I did the administrator role, and then I worked my way up to senior administrator. And then one day I walked into the office of the chief financial officer, and I said to him, I want to be your executive assistant. And he said to me, but I'm not hiring. And I said, one day you will, and I want the job. 2 weeks later, I became his assistant.
Wow, wow, very, very.
So that's how I moved up the way.
Yes, I would say that's a lot of attitude. We talk a lot about emotional intelligence, creativity, and personal innovation also, and how that is important for you to really not passively wait for everything, but to lead your own evolution, your own transformation, to really be proactive, have initiative, and make it happen. Dream, but transform that to projects, transform that to goals, to actions, and make it happen. And that's something inside out. It's not outside in. It's inside out. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. I like that. And tell me, in this roadmap, what were your main challenges?
I think when I first started, remember, I only knew how to cook amazing French food. So when my CFO is saying to me, learn how to use the diary, book a conference for 1,000 people and do travel itineraries, I was like, oh my goodness me, I don't have these qualifications. So I think the hardest thing was trying to rewire my mindset from fixed to growth, and to make people understand that I am capable of doing the job. I just have a different set of skills. So I use the skill set that I did have from the kitchen, and I use them to level up and become an assistant. I wanted to be taken seriously. I didn't want people to think, oh, she got here just by chance. I really started to fall in love with the industry. And when I started to really fall in love with how difficult the actual role of an executive assistant is, it became so much more interesting, because we are not just diary management and event management. We are so much more, so much more. But I realized the challenge for me was everything that comes with working in an office. So for example, when I trained as a chef, I never experienced bullying, having negative energy. It was the best team spirit. When I worked in the office, I started to experience bullying. I experienced people telling you that you're not good enough. So that was the challenge that I started to face.
Mm-hmm. How interesting. And when you decided that that would be your profession, what kind of studies did you go after? Studies specifically for that roles, for the competencies of the executive assistants?
No, I haven't. In the 11 years I've been an assistant, I never enrolled on a professional course to obtain an administration degree or anything. I do a lot of self-learning because I like to learn more about the things that I'm interested in, and I like to push myself against the things that make me go, oh no, please don't give me an Excel spreadsheet, you know. I'm not very good with technology. I say this all the time. So like PowerPoint, Excel, it's not my thing. But if you give me an event for 1,000 people and tell me you want a conference in 5 different countries in the world, that's when I excel. So it's just playing up to your strengths, but taking the time to invest in your learning on the areas that you feel that you need to develop.
And what are the areas that you excel? Events, you're saying, but how you learn how to do that on your day-on-day basis?
Yeah, so I really like the questions, by the way. I do this by throwing myself in the deep end, because only then will I know if I can swim, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Because if I throw myself into the deep end and have that survival mode, can I do this? Can I make an event for 1,000 people? At least then I tried. And if I'm no good, I can look back and say, okay, Skevi, where in these things did you go wrong? How can you improve? And then I can do the learning. I can go on resources like Executive Secretary. I can learn about event management. But until you try, until you push yourself in that comfort zone, you will never know what magic you have inside of you that you didn't know was there waiting. So I say to people, open your horizon, open your mindset, because the energy that you will bring in and the talents that you will bring in will make you such a better person as a result.
Definitely, definitely. That is, I would say, an authentic, genuine match. It's what you really are executing. What passion, what moves you, what motivates you, and you're saying like a traditional learning you don't have, but definitely you go deep on the lifelong learning because you are a researcher. You do all the so many very critical, important training sessions, readings on the executive secretary magazines, on all their events. So you are studying many skills. It's not just on the work basis. You are a researcher. You are a learning. It's another type of learning, you know. I have a father and mother. They're anthropologists. They have many others. There's my mother's sociology, economist also. But their first passion was anthropologist. And the anthropologist, he or she does not only learn, they have to feel it. That is the real learning. Everything that I teach, I experiment first in myself and see how it goes. Then I am a facilitator of my mentors, my students, and whatever. And when I hear you talk, I listen about a lot like that, you know, that kind of spirit. When I ask you, what are your learnings? What do you study? You study a lot of things, you know.
Thank you. I think the most important gift that we have as humans is the gift of time. Everybody says to me, Skevi, I don't have enough time in the day. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to learn a new skill, to go see my parents, to book that holiday. And I say, when I do my presentation at shows for the PA I say to everybody at the beginning, think of one person that influences you the most. Somebody, it could be a celebrity, it could be a relative, anybody who you think, wow, that person really does something to my soul when I think of them. And I get them to close their eyes and think of that person. And then I carry on presenting. And then I do a slide where I show them a clock. And I say to them, get that person back in your mind, that person that really inspires you. You both have the same 24 hours in a day. There's no excuse. It's just how you use that time to be your best friend. And when people understand time is so raw, it's such an essence to have, and it's such a gift, then you start to respect time. And I always say to people, it's time to acknowledge time. We are executive assistants. We have an internal clock in our brain because we're always dealing with so many diaries. You need to schedule time for you to learn things, to see the world, and treat it like a meeting that you would for your executive. Put it in your diary and don't move it unless there is a crisis or an emergency. And once you start to respect that you have dedicated time for you to really focus your brain, to make your brain grow, to treat it like a muscle, to love your heart, to feel everything, then that is when you start to excel better as a person and you grow and you see things.
Yes, definitely. I like a lot the way that you see, the way you feel, and the way you act. It has a lot of harmony, equilibrium. And everybody is looking, especially today, everybody's looking for that. On the talk that you had, you and Matt and everything, you were talking also about some personal challenges, times of bullying, and we talk a lot about that here also in Brazil. Could you share a little bit with us?
Yeah, first of all, if there's anybody in Brazil that is experiencing bullying, I just want to say I'm with you and I support you, and I'm holding your hand throughout that process because it is a really lonely place. And I know how you may feel to think that you are on your own, but I promise you, you are not. You are surrounded by light and I will support you. So I need to just say that first. The challenges that I face is in offices. So I've had many women in my career being very hostile, very anti-women on women behavior. So women sabotaging women, jealousy, hate. I've experienced hate. And it's all because they say that they don't like seeing people do good. They don't like the fact that I created the PA way. They didn't want an assistant to have a platform. Lots of things, lots of different things. And it's hard because it crushes your spirit and people are trying to tell you to not use your own light and to keep you in the dark. And everybody on this planet has a light and nobody should try and take that away from a person. So yeah, it's been very challenging throughout my career. I'm still dealing with a lot of trauma, but by the grace of God, you know, I'm just going to keep pushing forward and realizing that anything that I experience, whether it's a negative or bullying, is here to test me. And as a result, I will become a better and wiser person as a result.
Yes, definitely. Bravo. Very, very good. And also, Lucy talked about the challenge of dealing with disabilities and how you overcome that and how you naturally live that today. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, of course. So when I was 17 years old, I was diagnosed with an incurable autoimmune illness condition. And unfortunately, there is no cure. So it's something I have to live in day out. I get very sick very easily. And when you are diagnosed with something like that, at a very young age, you realize immediately that the purpose of life is to live with purpose. So it changes your mindset to make you want to live the best life that you can, and to use time as a weapon so that you can go out there and be the very best person you have. So again, I experienced bullying because of my illness, because it's not visible and you can't see that there's anything wrong with me. People accused me of lying about being ill so that I could get car parking privileges at work. People accused me of lying so that I could go get doctor's appointments during work and leave early. So many things I was accused of. But you know, these things make you stronger. And even though there is no cure for this, and I am a problem solver and somebody who tries to find a solution to problems, being an assistant, that's what we do, right?
Yes.
It's okay, because I don't have to fix everything. I don't have to try and fix myself. I can fix myself to be a better person and educate somebody who's getting bullied that they're not alone, you know? So, and I'm protected by God, so I'll just do whatever I have to do.
It's interesting because I imagine you are still young. You're 33 years old. You look younger, even, huh? And you already started very young. One of the biggest challenges of the human beings that is really accepting such a big change, and looking at the most possible positive ways of dealing with it and maintaining especially a meaningful and happy life. So that is a big challenge. And I would say that is a challenge of 100% of the human beings. No, everybody is looking for living a life, a more meaningful and happy life. That is a common goal of the humans. And I imagine all this mixture of all your personal and professional timeline, history, no? It must have been very positive for you to have a dream, have a purpose on your biggest project, that today it has such a great format, but you already had the dream when you started that back on, if I'm not wrong, 218 that you started your PA. So tell us how that was born, and if you could share with us your site for us to understand what it is.
Yeah, so I'll just put my glasses on so I can see, or else I'm blind. Let me just share my screen and I can talk you through. You can still hear me, right?
Yes, perfect.
So yeah, let me go on this. So can you see the PA way?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the PA way. The PA way came to me in a dream in 2018 on the 11th of February, I think. And I woke up in the morning and I was like so excited by this website, this platform that I had seen in my head for assistance. And I realized I needed to create that. So I spent every evening, every weekend after work building it. So the PA way, the community of the PA way is called the PA way squad. So that's why it says join the squad. We are a squad, we are tight. And it's all about leveling up and being the best person that you can be. So this is the story. The PA way is a global platform for professionals within our industry to make sure that you are recognized as the VIP that you are. Assistants are the office celebrity. This is what I always say. We are the celebrities in the office. Everybody wants to talk to us. So we are the influencers, and I do different events in person and virtual as well. So these are all the different events I have coming up. More about the story. And this is the Instagram. So then I have membership here as well. So the Lux list is a concierge. So for example, if an assistant wanted to come to London and she didn't know what hotel to stay, I can help them with that. All Star Academy is the learning platform for the PA Way. So this is where I do all my workshops. And then membership, this is the really fun part of the PA Way, I think. So my members are called Loyal Royals because, let's face it, assistants are royalty. And this is all the benefits that they get for being a member. And all the different pictures of the things and the membership. And then if you become a member, you can click on here, the Loyal Lounge, and it takes you to secret access on the website, different access, where I have digital downloads and planners and masterclasses, all sorts. And then next year, I am doing a festival called Rock and Glow. It was meant to happen in June, but obviously the pandemic. Lucy is one of the keynote speakers, and it's Rock and Glow, and it's basically my version of a conference, but without being very boring and in a boardroom. So there will be speakers, we will have yoga, we're having a barbecue, there's going to be music, different speakers, you name it, this is what it's about. So yeah, so that's the PA Way. And this is, look, Lucy's there, all the different Matthew's going to be there, all the different speakers, the schedule. There's my beautiful Lucy. Just so many different things. And there's Matt. So yeah, this is the festival that is now going to be June 2021.
Wonderful. Bravo. Bravo. Very, very good.
Thank you. 1 second. I'm trying to get you back on the thing. 1 second.
No problem. I got you back.
Thank you.
Wonderful, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Very, very creative, integrative. Very, very, very nice. Wonderful. And let me ask you something. Today, you work specifically with your business? Are you working some corporation, your business? How is today's life?
So at the moment, it's just the PA Way. Today, I have done 17 hours straight on a laptop. My eyes are crazy. But yeah, I left my job in November and I have just been working on the PA Way full steam ahead. It's my heartbeat. I just love assistants. I really, really, really love our industry so much. If someone said to me now, Skevi, you can go back and be a chef, the answer is no.
and just for us to wrap up, today we're living almost 100 days on all this new era. And how do you feel that on the balance of your life, and how do you see the new future?
That's a really, really interesting question. To be honest, for me personally, I think because I've been living with an immune illness for 18 years, I don't know any different, in the sense of, for the last 18 years, I've always had to travel with a mask. I've worn gloves. I've never touched doors, or I've had to be so clean all the time. So that part of coronavirus is no different for me. The hard thing is being on lockdown. Because I'm classed as vulnerable, I have to stay home all the time. Even more, everybody has started to go out now in the UK, but I still have to stay in. And I just think it will allow people to realize not everything has to be done now. You know, we can do things virtually. We can have these conversations more. We can do virtual events like Exec Global. I mean, how amazing was that event? Seriously, like, kudos to Lucy for that event. And I think the new normal is going to be companies realizing that all the staff don't have to come into work. People can work from home. and they can have more of a work-life balance. It's just getting those measures put in place.
Definitely. It makes so much sense. You're saying you live that already 18 years, so that is not a change. There are other types of changes, but that is a change for 99% of the population. It's not your challenge. That it's other challenges now.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I think and I had this conversation with Matt as well, because when you're immunosuppressed, you kind of live in your own bubble anyway. So seeing everybody else walking down the street wearing a mask, it's been very surreal, because I've always felt the alien, the one that I travel and people go, why is she wearing a mask? Or why is she wearing gloves? And now everybody's doing it, and I feel really strange because I don't feel different. Does that make sense? It's a really strange thing, but my heart really hurts for them, because it's a shame. I don't want people to feel they are trapped in their body and they can't visit their families and, enjoy their children. It's a shame. I don't want the whole world to be like that. I want everybody to live and be the best people that they can be. So I'll always support people if they need the help adjusting to these different situations.
Skevi, such a great conversation. It was really, really a pleasure. If you want to send your last words to the Brazil Secretaries community, you're more than welcome.
To the Brazilian secretarial community, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak with you. I just want you to know I'm sending you so much love from the UK. Please realize that you have so much power as an assistant, and never let anybody underestimate you and the power that you have as an assistant. I want you to be so powerful in your role that people do not know who the boss is. So please, from my heart, stay true to you, and sending you lots of love.
Skevi, thank you so much. And I wish that in the near future, you're going to be visiting us here. You have a house here in Rio de Janeiro to receive you.
That's so kind. Thank you so much. And likewise, come to Birmingham. It's a very good city, I promise.
Oh, I imagine. Yes, we have that plan. Receive all our love, Skevi. Stay well.
Thank
A
you.
big kiss.
You too. Thank you.